Hey guys, Animal Man here. Today we're going to learn how to make a survival spear. Stay with us. You know, I teach people that the first thing you do when you figure out you're lost is you just stay there and sit down and you clear your head. But I teach people also the first thing you do when you realize you're in a survival situation is you pick up a weapon. And that could be a rock, it could be a stick to use like a throwing stick or a club, or it could be a spear. Make yourself a spear. So here's our sapling. This is maple, but it's the proper dimensions. It's about as thick as a broom handle, a little bit thicker, and it's straight all the way up to my fingertips here, which is perfect. You've got two options here for your spear. You can make what's called a 3/4 lance length, and that is your height. I'm 6 foot, so it'll be a 6 foot long spear. And that's good. You definitely want it to be over your head. The reason why, you've got a point on this spear, and you're walking around, you're going to use it like a hiking staff probably. And if you slip and it's shorter than you, you're going to impale yourself and you are done. That's it. Game over. So you want it to be at least your height. 3/4 lance, your height for you is great because it's shorter and it's a lot more maneuverable. If you take martial arts, you know how to fight with a bow staff, you can use that for the same thing, a spear and a martial arts defense weapon. That's great. If you're in an area that's more open, and you can have a longer spear, I go for a longer one. And that would be from the ground to the fingertips, when your arm is outstretched and you're on your tippy toes. That's going to be around 8 foot. That is called a full-length lance. And the great thing about that is you've got more length, which increases your safety and it increases your reach. So those are your two options. I'm going to go for a full lance. I'm going to do this about 8 feet. Alright guys, so we're going to cut this right about here where it straightens out, and we could use our knife like a hatchet, but it uses more energy that way and it also isn't as safe, so we're going to baton this. So you take a small stick and we're going to baton it. So here's the batoning technique. What you do. Do on the other side a little bit. Alright, we're just going to finish this off. There we go. The other end, right here, right there is about the 8 foot, so that's where we're going to cut it to. Usually once you've got it scored all the way around, you can then just crack it. There you go. Hopefully you can see that length from there. It's a little shorter than I would have liked, but about 7 foot. This will do fine. Alright, now we're going to sharpen the top end of this to a point. Just like normal. The trick is you want the point not to be too blunt because then you won't get good penetration if you have to use this. And you don't want it too pointy, too slender, because then that decreases the strength. You have to find a happy medium. And I definitely do want all the bark gone from about the first 6 inches or so at least. And I'll explain why in a couple minutes. Here's a trick you can sometimes do to speed this along, make it go faster. I'm going to prop this against my body, and again, I'm going to use the baton. This will save your arm from all that carving. You can't go all the way to the fine tip like this, but you can get rid of a bunch of this wood like this. Alright, that right there looks good to me. There you go, that'll be the tip of our spear. Alright you guys, so this survival spear is pretty good on its own. And what I'm going to teach you how to do now is something I've never seen anybody show before. I'm going to teach you guys how to take this roughly made survival weapon and how to turn it into something truly that will go through an animal if you wanted it to. and would be a much longer term weapon. And the way we do that is a 3-step process. First thing we need to do is we grease this wood. We're going to use whatever you have. A rendered animal fat is the best thing, but we're assuming you're starting from scratch, so I'm going to see what I've got in my pockets here. Usually I've got chapstick or hand cream or something. Got a little bit of hand lotion. We're going to take this, and we're going to grease the end of this. And here's what I do. You just go get it on the whole thing. Just grease it up. So the whole thing's covered. And what this does is it protects the wood. This is like grease in a pan when you're going to cook brownies or bake a cake or something like that. Same exact thing that you'd use Crisco for. And if you didn't have anything with you, what you could use in a pinch, you can use pine sap for this. Or you could also get some grease and oil from your ear, over your nose, your forehead. You know, our bodies are greasy, and just a little bit will help. That'll be enough. So now, step 2. We're going to fire harden this. And what this is basically is we're going to toast it. Almost everyone has toasted a slice of bread before, and you know what happens. You get this fluffy bread, and then when you toast it, it changes a lot. It gets hard and crunchy. It's a lot stronger. Imagine what will happen if you do that to wood. Yes, same exact thing. Wood that's already hard becomes extremely, extremely hard. So we're going to put this near the fire, and we're gonna toast it. Basically, fire hardening is just gonna toast it. And it's going to turn darker in color, just like your toast, slice of bread will. Same exact thing here. Gotta be careful you don't burn the tip. This is why we wanted the bark scraped off the top 6 inches of this spear, so we can do this. Alright everybody, so we've greased this, we've fire hardened it, and now the last step is to burnish it. So what we're going to use for this is a smooth cobblestone. This is quartz, or you can use the bottom of a bottle, whatever you can find that's smooth and hard like this. And we're going to push down as we rub this very briskly on the edge, and what this is going to do is it's going to heat up those wood fibers as it compresses them. And what you end up with is a finish that's almost like glass. I mean, you can tell the difference the spot you've done. It's shiny. If you wanted to make a long-term survival weapon, make this spear really last years and years, you just debark the whole thing, grease it up, fire harden it, burnish the whole thing, and that'll last for you. It'll be a much longer-term survival weapon. Some inner bark coming off still. Oh, huge difference. That is what we need. Perfect. You ever see the movie The Edge? Gotta kill the bear. How are we gonna do that, Charles? Gonna lure him with blood. What are we gonna do, Charles? Say it, Bob. What one man can do, another can do. What one man can do, another can do. Say it again. What one man can do, another can do. Say it again. What one man can do, another can do. Say it again. What one man can do, another can do. Because today, I'm gonna kill the mother. Yeah.